15 recommended plants for spring blooms. This early bloomer, March to May, is a good ground-hugging, massing ground cover for slopes and rock gardens. Plants rarely grow more than about 6 inches tall, spreading up to 2 feet in width. Phlox will sometimes rebloom if sheared back after the first flowers fade. Like creeping phlox, common periwinkle is a creeping ground cover, but this vining plant blooms somewhat later, from May to June. Plants grow no more than 6 inches tall with an 18-inch spread, with blooms that are of vibrant lavender blue or white. Periwinkle makes a good cover plant for spring bulbs, which typically have faded by the time periwinkle blooms. Periwinkle can be somewhat invasive in some areas, but it is not particularly difficult to remove. When its cheerful yellow flowers grace the arching branches of Forsythia intermidia, we know winter has fully retired for another year. The sunrise cultivar of this shrub stays more compact than many other types, reaching 4 to 6 feet in height, with a spread of 3 to 5 feet. Forsythia is best used when grouped in shrub borders, but can also be a good hedge shrub. These plants can grow somewhat rampantly and they may require occasional rejuvenation pruning. Prunus glanulosa is a dwarf version of flowering almond, a shrub that stays to about 3 to 5 feet tall with a similar spread. As is true of many magnolias, the flowers precede the foliage on these shrubs. The pink flowers generally appear in April. Don't confuse flowering almond with the plant that bears almond nuts, Prunus dulce. Flowering almond is a good choice for shrub borders and woodland gardens. The Magnolia genus is a large group of plants including dozens of species with good landscape uses, ranging from compact shrubs to towering trees. Magnolias are among the earliest trees and shrubs to produce spring flowers. Many types produce their blooms before the large, leathery leaves appear. A good choice for a landscape tree is star magnolia, which stays shorter 15 to 20 feet than saucer magnolia 20 to 25 feet and blooms the earliest. Star magnolia has white flowers, unlike the saucer magnolia and Jane magnolia, both of which bloom in pink. Jane magnolia, 10 to 15 feet tall and 8 to 12 feet wide, can be grown as a shrub or tree. Most spring blooming gardens can make use of a versatile climber, and winter jasmine fits the bill nicely. The flower buds of Jasminum nudiflorum are yellow and red, but reveal pure yellow flowers when they open in March and April. Provided with a structure, winter jasmine can climb up to 15 feet, otherwise, it will sprawl along the ground. Wherever the branches make contact with the soil, they'll root, which is handy if you wish to use the plant as a ground cover. If such spreading doesn't fit into your landscape plan, keep the plant pruned back. A member of the Ranunculaceae buttercup family, Amur Adonis is a perennial species that grows no more than 1 foot tall and is among the first flowers to bloom in spring. Several named cultivars are available, offering different shades of pale yellow, bright yellow, or deep yellow-orange. It flowers very early, from February to March, depending on location. Virginia bluebell, Mertensia virginica, grows up to 2 feet tall, blooming in March and April. It is an ideal woodland plant for shady locations, but the foliage will die back and vanish by midsummer. It is best planted in conjunction with summer shade plants, such as hostas or ferns, which will cover space as the bluebells die back. Helleborus orientalis, commonly known as Lenten Rose or Hellebore, the flowers appearing in February to April have sepals of red, pink, lavender, purple, blue, yellow, or even green. Because this color occurs on sepals, not the petals, it's quite long-lasting. Add to this the shiny, leathery, evergreen leaves, and you have a perennial that offers interest beyond the initial early blooming period. Lenten Rose, so named because it flowers near the season of Lent in some regions, grows to about 18 to 24 inches tall and wide. It is a good plant for woodland locations or planted beneath shade trees or large shrubs. Pulstatilla vulgaris is a short perennial 8 to 12 inches that will eventually spread. Like Lenten Rose, its common name alludes to a religious holiday of early spring, Easter, which is Pasque in Old French. The lavender color of the flowers that appear in April to May fits right into an Easter color scheme. But happily, the Easter bunny will leave them alone because Pasque Flower is rabbit-proof. Galanthus nivalis is almost synonymous with the earliest flowers to bloom in spring, appearing in February, often through snow cover. A short perennial bulb plant 3 to 6 inches, it'll naturalize over time and spread to fill in an area. But its white flowers are small, so for best impact, plant them in masses or drifts in areas where they can be allowed to naturalize. Crocus vernus and related plants are bulbs, more accurately, corms, that flower early in spring. Spring crocus are generally slightly smaller than Dutch crocus, Crocus flavus, and they flower earlier, usually in April. Species varieties are generally purple or white, but cultivars are available in shades of yellow or gold. At just 3 to 6 inches tall, crocus stays short, as do snowdrops. Birds and rabbits eat crocus, so the bulbs need to be protected with wire mesh if you want to guard against loss. For best impact, plant them in large groups or naturalized drifts. This deciduous shrub is a named cultivar of a hybrid cross between Japanese witch hazel H. japonica and Chinese witch hazel H. mollis. Growing 12 to 15 feet tall, Arnold Promise flowers in February to March, before any other bushes except some magnolias. The vase-shaped growth habit with spreading branches makes this a good plant for borders, screens, and woodland gardens. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.